Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. An announcement from the Ministry of Health. National cycling team. India tells China border troops pull back, needs for better ties. Indonesia adds patrols after dedicating ships in South China Sea. Welcome to your domestic in brief. 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at quarantine centers in the Central and Gashbarka region. Out of these, 1 patient is from quarantine center in Asmara Central region. 1 patient is from quarantine center in Nadibara, Gashbarka region. On the other hand, 1 patient who has been receiving medical treatment in hospital in the Central region has recovered fully and have been discharged from this facility. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 6,618, while the number of deaths stands at 40. The total number of confirmed cases in the country has risen to 6,669. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 17th September 2021. The Eritrean national cycling team will participate at the 2021 UCI World Road Championship that will take place in Belgium from 19th to 26th of this September. Speaking at the sending off ceremony held today, Ambassador Zamed Takhla, Commissioner of Culture and Sports, expressed expectation that the athletes demonstrate strong competitiveness in the international stage and register commendable success. Mr. Samson Solomon, coach of the national team, on his part said that the team has been making extensive preparations for the competition and expressed conviction that the team will register the expected results and preserve the competitiveness the national team under 23 has registered in the past. The 12-member national team comprises of athletes Marhaw Quddus, Natlael Brhane, Metkel Iyob Dawit Yamane, Binyam Girmay, Nathanael Tesfatzion, Henok Mulubrhan, Petros Menges, and Ephraim Gabrihiwet will participate in the under-23 elite, while athletes Deset Kidane, Bisrat Gabra Mikael, and Adiham Tesfa Alam will participate in the women category. And on your final domestic, the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the Ansaba region organized various vocational training in Asmat, Galab, Habaro, and Hamil Malo subzones. The 3 to 6 month theoretical and practical vocational training that were provided to 175 youth, including 94 females, including raffia and stone crafting, poultry, bee farming, as well as water motor pump maintenance. At the graduation ceremony conducted in their respective areas, administrators of Asmat, Galab, Habaro, and Hamil Malo subzones are called on the trainees to take advantage of the training they received in improving their livelihoods. At the graduation ceremony conducted in Aritai Habaro subzone, the chairman of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, Mr. Saleh Ahmeddin, underlining the prevailing era demands skills and talented youth, called on the government, institutions, and partners to extend strong participation. The secretary of PFDJ in Ansaba region, Mr. Haile Towalde Berhan, on his part, called on the administrations to strengthen contribution towards empowering their youth. Likewise, at the graduation ceremony conducted in Libna Hamil Malo and Haburo subzone, 1,175 chicks were distributed to 45 trainees free of charge, and material and financial support as well was extended to those that were trained in other fields. Documents indicate that in the last 9 months, the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students Branch in Ansaba region organized vocational training to 369 families, caretakers free of charge. Stay with us for your global report after this short break. And with your report on the international line, India's foreign minister says relations will only develop when both countries pull their troops back from the disputed Himalayan border. India has told China their bilateral relations will develop only when both countries pull their troops back from a counterfrontation on their disputed Himalayan border, the Indian foreign minister said. Subramanyam Jaishankar shared India's position when he met his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi on the sidelines of a regional conference in Dushanbe on Thursday. Jaishankar posted on Twitter that border areas underlined that progress in this regard is essential for restoration of peace and tranquility, which is the basis for development of bilateral ties. Thousands of Indians and Chinese soldiers have been locked in a confrontation in the West Himalayas since last year, when enmity over a decades-old border dispute blew up. In June last year, tensions resulted in hand-to-hand fighting, causing deaths on both sides, the first between them in decades. After several rounds of talks between their commanders, their forces have stepped back on some sanctions of the border, including the Pangong Tsu Lake, a contested area near the site of last year's clashes, but troops backed by artillery remain dug in close proximity in other sectors. However, Wang reported that China has always handled the China-India border issue properly and with a positive attitude, and it will do so further. On your final report, Jakarta deploys 5 Navy vessels assisted by an air patrol in North Natuna Sea after Chinese and U.S. vessels were detected in nearby international waters. Indonesian Navy has increased patrol around its Natuna Islands in the South China Sea after China and U.S. vessels were detected nearby in international waters, despite saying that their vessels had not caused any disturbance. Navy official reported. 5 Navy vessels assisted by an air patrol have been deployed in northern Natuna Sea to secure the area. Indonesian Navy Western Fleet Commander Arsayed Abdullah told reporters on Thursday the Navy's position on the North Natuna Sea is very firm in protecting national interest within the Indonesian jurisdiction in accordance with national law and international law that have been ratified, so that there's no tolerance for any violence in the northern Natuna Sea, Arsayed reported. In 2017, Indonesia renamed the northern reaches of its exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea the northern Natuna Sea as part of the pushback against China's maritime torrential ambitions. Arsayed further reported that the U.S. and China Navy ships have been detected nearby recently, but said that they were not a disturbance, adding that they were still in international waters. A weeks-long standoff in Natuna occurred in early January last year, when a Chinese Coast Guard vessels and accompanying fishing boats entered the northern Natuna Sea, prompting Indonesia to send fighter jets and mobilize its own fishermen. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we're back with some more news, you're going to enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these are your major headlines for this broadcast in review. An announcement from the Ministry of Health as your primary domestic. The national cycling team given a last discussion before they leave. India tells China border troops pull back is needed for further bilateral better ties. Indonesia adds patrol after detecting ship in the South China Sea. That is all for now. Thanks for watching and have a nice one.